don't know what's going on here. We're gonna play some franchise mode. And yes, I know today's Valentine's Day. We actually had our Valentine's Day last night. So, so yeah. We had our Valentine's Day last night. It was a lot of fun. I we made some really good food, just hung out, watched TV, and that was really it. Um, but so we'll sim to the resign phase. I was very disappointed um, with how things turned out last year. PK Subban is actually, I forgot that he was my assistant coach. It's kind of funny. Um, Overall morale, mm, he doesn't really seem to love the coaching staff here, but his teaching is pretty good. Um, so he's not happy. I'll bring him back. And then I just need an AHL assistant coach for next year. That's one that retired, I guess. Lots of scouts, though, need new contracts this year. So this may be a year where I actually improve the scouting department. We'll have to see. USA Central, yeah, I think so. And then we'll just keep going here. Hello. And yeah, so I think B minus. I think I can do better than USA than Picard, but it's very possible that we'll be back, circling back to him. I feel like I could also do better in Russia than Markov, but you never know. Let's see though. Hello. It's streams today because she's working. We did our Valentine's Day last night, so I'm actually able to play video games, and then I'm just gonna grab myself some dinner later on. I could get something delivered, but I don't really feel like paying like $17 in delivery fees. So Aho wants a 3-year contract. I'll give that to him because he is still a very solid and productive forward. Buse does not want a contract, but again, I'm going to give it to him just because I feel like he could improve. Um, Other than that, though, yikes. Dan wants a contract. Definitely giving Dan a contract. I'm going to also qualify McElroy. Try and offer him a bit more money. See what happens. Gaucher here, definitely going to sign him. That's one of my team's more promising prospects. Picked in the 3rd round. Did I have any center prospects? I did not. Okay, I wanted to make sure. Pistola, I'm not missing out on much. This is a guy that I could get in free agency and have a more productive forward anyways. Burkholz, we're definitely signing. I'm also going to sign Soro here. So both of these guys should either... This guy will definitely be in the NHL. He might not be, but still. Caldwell's potential isn't the highest, but he is 71 overall. And for a second round pick, you know what? Like, decent chance at becoming an NHL player. Jacob Chikrin, I'm going to sign for 2 more years. I think that signing worked out for the franchise. We'll sign him. I'm going to let Fleury go. I'll sign Gerard because I do think this may be a year where I kind of look at improving my defense. But we're definitely going to sign Lawrence here because a low elite skater at 74 overall. This is a 6th round pick. Wow. Um, and that's really it. So I'm going to qualify Vico because I don't know what my AHL defense is looking like. But this is going to be a year where I actually try and improve the defense because I think that's kind of what's holding me back right now. Goaltending wise, crap. I really need to stop drafting elite goalies. So I'm gonna try and trade Chris, I think. Just because I have a better goalie in the system. So Marco, Davis Marco as well, a defensive defenseman, 73 overall. He didn't improve a ton. And there's Wilson here, picked in the 2nd round. Wow, 70. I didn't realize he was 70 overall. So yeah, got 2 solid NHL pieces right there from the same team. Okay, I'm remembering that from the time I streamed this, but I'm gonna go ahead and sign the team's best prospect because there's no sense in letting him stay in the league that he was in. Okay, so Subban's back. Um, okay. Alright, so everybody has said yes and accepted a contract. Um, there's all my scouting staff. Okay. So I do need to make one change on coaching. Yes. So I need to hire an assistant coach for the AHL. Which that shouldn't be too difficult. I'm just going to find one with good teaching. This guy is slightly better. So we'll offer him a little bit more money. And boom. And then scouting. I need to hire, I think it's just USA and Russia. Yep, USA and Russia. And I already see a USA scout that's a B, which is slightly better than Picard was. He's actually, yeah. If you look at it, basically, you know, he's only worse in one category, and that is puck skills, and he's way better at scouting defense. And then he also has a B in efficiency as opposed to a B minus. So this is the scout that I want. It doesn't look like there's a better Russian scout though. Yeah, so Markov is still the best, and he's actually still pretty good. I don't know why he's still listed as a B minus because really he's got the skills of a B scout. Um, so that's not bad. So we make a slight improvement at the USA, or in terms of USA scouting. And the AHL team, I guess, gets a little better in coaching. I don't know. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Gonna want to sign a top 6 winger in this free agency because I doubt Teravainen stays at that level. So top 6 left winger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so my goals are 3 defensemen and then a top 6 left winger in free agency this year. Hey! Finally catching a stream. Wow. So Zach Werenski would be a top. Trade a goalie for you. Man, if you don't... you just won a Stanley Cup! Oh, why am I on Gabe Vilardi? I wanted Werenski. It's a pairing 3 all power play and penalty killing lines. I mean, that's the best I could hope for. He's 32, which isn't great. But again, I am building a contender here. And Werenski fits it. I'm going to get the defense sorted out first. I do want at least one defenseman that's fairly young. And this is perfect here. So Carson Lambos doesn't fit in the system. That's fine. Ben Hefner allegedly doesn't fit in the system, but he's also a created player, and I'd be down to sign a young, talented defenseman. And then, last but not least, Latipov fits on defensive pairing 1. That's useless for me. Hronek fits on all penalty killing lines and defensive pairing 2. Johansson fits on defensive pairing 3, and that's where he'd be. So, I mean, like, all things considered, he's not really bad. I think I traded for him at the deadline, and I was pretty happy with his work. Oh, hey, there's Kane's legend, Alex Galchenyuk. So now I need a left winger, and I need a good one. Like, I'm talking top 6 left winger. Preferably one that's not terribly old. Philip Zadina would work. Doesn't really fit the system as much as I'd like. Staubitz is a UFA, but again, he's not very good. Shoot. Am I gonna have to offer sheet somebody? Trevor with the plug for the stream. You know one. Yes, but you're gonna be so hard to trade for. Do you want me to try and swing it? Who are you with? Florida? They might not even need a goalie, man. Okay. You're their most valuable player, obviously. They have Nathan MacKinnon, too. Good God. See, here's the thing, though. Chris isn't going to be worth anything. Oh, look, he's barely worth anything. I'm not giving up Avery. No. No, 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 no. No, no. I won't be able to swing that. Nope, I can't. If I could move Chris for you, I would. But I can't. If I can move Chris plus like 1 or 2 more assets, that would be worth my time. But not that. Sorry, my brain like just stopped working for a second. I feel like it's gonna be expensive. What is this offer sheet even cost? This year's first, second, and third round picks. This guy won 7.3 million and he's 84 overall. That's absurd. Let's see. Let's see who's available first. Let's see if there's a team willing to. Bertuzzi's 35, otherwise I would have considered that. Sprung's a right winger. I would need left wing. Oh, Hannafin's on the block. That's hilarious. Edmonton wants to trade prospects. I get it, man. They want to trade prospects too. Most of these teams want to trade picks, it looks like. So right now it looks like Bertuzzi was my best bet, and he's old. Jake DeBrusk. He wouldn't be great, but I could get him on the cheap. He's got 3 years left on his deal. I don't want to be paying him for that long. We'll circle back to it. Ah. Robertson's a center, though, and that's kind of the problem that I have. It's like I don't hate making that trade. The thing is, his value is so much higher. What's his team fit? None. What's DeBrusque's? None. Okay. I could get Cody Glass, but again, he doesn't fit. Colin White, same deal. Forward line too, but the problem is he doesn't really fit anywhere. What's the team? Was it Anaheim? Yes, so they had Bertuzzi up. He's 35 years old. Top six forward. Still a top six forward potential. I don't want to risk that. I need a left winger. I need one. Like, I don't have a good, affordable left winger. I could sign, like, um, trying to find, like, a reasonably. I could sign, like, a Philip Tomasino type player. Forward line one and all penalty killing lines. But see, even then, like, he's still not that great. Kravtsov, all power play. Holy crap, look at this dude's neck. Giraffe looking ass over here. Oh my god. Sorry, I had to roast my man for a second. Joe Veleno fits on all forward lines. Perfect. Yes, he's a center, but I can move somebody over to the wing. I don't want to. I want to sign him for. Let's go 3 years. 33. He still should be pretty fine. Or like pretty okay. That's perfect. The last thing I want to do is just check the prospects, see if there are any decent ones available. This year it doesn't really look like it actually. Yeah, I can't see any of these top guys working out. But let's take a look and see just if there are any other maybe ones that I missed. No, just guys that I don't really care about. Okay, so if all goes well, we should end up with the four pieces that I need. Alright, so I got my AHL head or assistant coach. Got my USA scout. Got my Russian scout now. Johansson accepted, so that's one of my defensemen. I got Werenski and I got Veleno and I got Ben Hefner. Boom. Okay. So now what I need to do is I need to make a trade. I need to trade Chris. And yes, it's gonna be a downgrading goal for the moment. But so Anaheim actually wants him, and I feel like I could get a draft pick from. I cannot get a draft pick from them. Okay, I might be able to get one of their rookie skaters, which might actually be better. Okay, never mind. They have no prospects, so let's go with Arizona. Let's see. So I have a left wing prospect. I don't know which areas of. Drafted a defenseman last year. Let's try Phaneuf, and I will need to add a pick for them in order to make this just make sense for me. Rejected. Isn't sufficient at all. So let's try bumping that down to a sixth and see if that changes their minds. The value's just a bit low. It might just have to be one for one, but let's try and squeak a seventh out of them. Boom. So we get basically just a dart at the dartboard, and we have to step like 10 feet back. But so that's it. So Chris, we get a top prospect for him, and you know what? I think it makes the most sense. Fisey is going to be our starter from now on. I'm very thankful for Chris. He did win us a Stanley Cup, I believe in his rookie year with the team, actually. But it just with the team going in a lot of different directions, always match, by the way, always match if they don't give me a good offer. With the team moving in a lot of different directions, it just made sense to say goodbye. Um, Again, no compensation. I'm going to match. You'd better be excited to stay with this damn team. Alright, another prospect accepted their qualifying offer. I shouldn't have too many more. Alright, yeah, so that's probably it. How about the Canes trades yesterday, man? I actually was working, funnily enough. I was able to, like, take a few breaks and look at Discord, but I literally just happened to check my phone and be like, oh crap, wow, Canes traded Ryan Dzingel. And you know what? It makes sense. On paper, it's going to be a terrible trade for the Hurricanes, but you have to kind of look at the situation where Dzingel wasn't a fit for the team. He wasn't happy here. He didn't want to be on the fourth line, and that's exclusively where he was going to play. So the Canes trade a player, and then they get a player that's actually going to be a pretty good fit on this team, I think. So I'm happy about that. I really am. None of it's ideal, and none of it is great, but you know what? Like it it is what it is. So I want Veleno actually. Well, it says he fits in all of our lines. Who doesn't fit? If I do that, that makes it worse. I don't know what the deal is, man. Um, our forward core is good, and you know what? That's gonna be a tough team to beat, I think. Defensively, oh wow, awesome. So I actually kind of wanted Werenski to play up in the lineup, but he might regress because he is 33. Was he on 2 years? That's fine. But getting Ben Hefner on the first pair might actually be better because it'll balance out and like lessen the impact of aging. Sergachev, 2 years, that's perfect actually. And we still have Timmins and Chikrin here. Timmins and Chikrin actually doesn't change anything. So I'm gonna have it like that and then flip flop that. So goaltending. So Fisset is our starter, and then McKenzie got bumped up to an 85, while Fisset actually got up to an 88. So we're sitting pretty. What I may have to do is I may actually kind of have to declutter this lineup and make it work a bit more than it has, because it's awesome that I've acquired this much top talent, but if the team isn't like this team on its own should be a Stanley Cup contender. The fact that it isn't makes me think that we're just too crowded. So Avery Henry, a first round pick, is 78 overall and is joining the team now after some solid seasons in the W, and will be the team's first line winger. That's a player to watch out for, as well as any other players on that top line. Not really. This guy we signed in the off season. Let's see where our defense. So Marco got up to a 75 overall, which is a pretty big deal. I'm actually going to bump him up in the lineup. I'm actually not going to do that, but yeah, so I'm going to bump him up because I want him to play and I want him to see like actual starting or actual minutes. And so, you know what? I think that's good. I think we're ready to go. I feel a little bad for Galchenyuk too. I mean, the dude, honestly, like, he got hurt, and some players, like, when they get hurt, they just can't get back to their former selves. Like they're a shadow of their former selves. And it sucks because like this was a guy who could legitimately maybe not be like a star player on a line, but at least like a good top six forward. And it just hasn't worked out for him the past 4 or 5 years. Now it really just kind of looks like the Canes took on his contract as like a please we need to get rid of Dzingel kind of deal for the Senators, but I mean he's taxi squad depth, and I don't think another team is going to be willing to take him. I mean, there's probably a team that could claim him. Like, I could definitely see LA, claiming him and using him as like a reclamation project or something. But like, this is his fifth team in 2 years. I, I don't know, because he's been with what, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, obviously Carolina now, and then Ottawa. I can't think of the other the fifth team. So we've already had an injury, but the Canes are doing well. 3-0 and 0, just with some solid performances. They haven't allowed more than 2 goals in the first 4 games now. Arizona, that's what it was. Yeah, that's right. Because he was a part of the Kessel trade, right? So we don't know anything about Ashton DeKaiser here. Don't know anything based on his production either. I don't want to make an assumption. Seems like elite, but I mean, I could be wrong. I've been pretty bad about guessing this stuff. But 5-0 0, really solid start to the season. Make it 6-0 0 with that win over Buffalo. Um, we've only had 2 away games, so we've spent the majority of the time so far at home. Um, but very happy with the Canes here. And a shootout win. So you allow more than 3 goals, more than 2 goals, but you still get the win. And just a solid performance from the Canes. And the Canes, actually, after this Arizona game, will go undefeated in the month of October with a 9-0-0 record. Um, obviously, that's, a ninth of the season. There's the first loss, but it's an overtime loss to Philly. So obviously, we're just about a tenth of the way through the season, or just a little over that now. But like, it's gonna be tough. So actually, back-to-back overtime and shootout losses there um, against Philadelphia, who must have a great team this year. Actually, they're 8-6-0. They're not that great. It's kind of funny how that works. Our first regulation loss came against Buffalo, but the Canes have followed that up with 2 straight wins. That was actually a losing streak. It was a 3-game losing streak, huh? Riley Mercer. Oh, he's a goalie. Never mind. We don't need that. All right, good year for rookies. So it's a solid draft class, it seems. Obviously, if the top has a franchise player, you're more likely to have a good draft. But it's actually very difficult to trade for first overall picks in this game. Unless you have like second or third, it's very difficult to trade for first overall. You basically have to give up the farm, just because of how bad they skewed the rankings of draft picks. Like a first round pick is worth way more than like a top six forward would be. It's like prime Teuvo Teravainen might be able to fetch like a high second round pick, which is so stupid in this game. So that's why like big trades involve like 3 NHL players just to get one first round pick, which isn't realistic, and I don't know why the game they keep trying to make the trade simulator more realistic by increasing the value of draft picks, and it's like they turned the switch just too high this year. I Oh, you know what I think it is? I think it's because I messed with the settings. I'd be curious to see like if I bumped the settings down and kept them at like, the regular draft classes, if it would affect anything. So still don't know anything about Ashton DeKaiser here. just a point per game player as a center in the queue, which is a little concerning. Like, yeah, he's a point per game player, but it's the QMJHL. Like, you should be tearing up that league. The Canes are 24 and 2, which is pretty solid, pretty good. Um, we beat Philly, so we get that revenge game over the Flyers. And I don't think we've gotten any other shutouts. That might be the team's first shutout of the season against the Maple Leafs. Obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, but um, it's a pretty big deal. And there's a shootout win against the Flyers. So again, just getting those revenge games in. Canes are on a pretty long win streak. I haven't seen us lose in a little while. Of course, now we're going to lose against Detroit now that I said something about it. Um, any second now. Oh, we actually won both of those games. Okay, cool. So we have yet to lose a game in the month of December. And again, Calgary's going to prove us wrong. Yep, okay, so we did lose, and then we lost to Columbus too, so it's kind of funny how that works. I say something, and then usually what ends up happening is we lose. But we're actually kind of coming back down to earth with that 3-game losing streak. 4-game losing streak. Um, which again, I'm not surprised about. Um, like we, oh wow, that was a good Montreal team that we just shut out too. I know, and what's gonna happen is we're gonna get swept in the first round of the playoffs. I'm calling it right now. And then Waddell decided to get a 7th round pick yesterday for Gregory Hoffman, which it's really funny seeing hockey media be like, "Oh, Hoffman's gonna be such a good player for Columbus. Like that's such a good deal for them." I'm like, dude, Hoffman didn't make the Hurricanes. Like, in fact, like he he's a great skater, and he's produced at the top of the Swiss league for a while now. But like, eh, at best, Columbus is getting a guy who's 28, so already like in the last like year or so of his prime, and he might be good for like 30 points at the NHL level if he makes the NHL, which is an if because I didn't think he was that great. But the Canes get a 7th round pick for a guy that was never going to play for them. Again, that saga is depressing in and of itself, but you know what? The 2022 draft is going to be a good draft to have a bunch of picks in. Oh my god, he is a franchise player. With a Miko Koifu comparison. So that's actually like one of the low end franchise. But still, franchise nonetheless. I mean, just getting any assets for the 2022 draft is going to be a good idea because it's a deep draft and there's going to be a lot of talent in the later rounds. Plus, the Canes always seem to pick that like one prep school kid every year in the in those like later rounds that ends up being like okay, like who's gonna be this year's like David Cotton? But yeah, this team is pretty good. We're 49 and 3, heading into the middle part. We're still in early February, I guess. Mild concussion for Joe Veleno, and that's actually our first injury in quite some time for the NHL roster. Luckily, it's only a week, and he should be back for the game against Washington. But you know, he still misses. Actually, both the games we missed him and we lost. So, I mean, it shows that he might be a big part of this team. And with Veleno in the lineup, the Canes lose still. Okay, so 4-game losing streak. We didn't win a single game that week. We'll need to bounce back against the Vegas Golden Knights now because it's starting to be a little depressing. We lost that game too. So 5-game losing streak, and we get shut out by Pittsburgh 1-0. So 6 games in a row that the Hurricanes have failed to win. Make it 7. Okay, guys, come on. 8-game losing streak. 3 of which have been shootout losses, but still. 9. So we are 0, 6, and 3 in our past 9 games. We'll enter the trade deadline. I just want to see who is available in this draft, or in this thing. I want to see. Wait, Sergachev is not available. I was like, oh hell yeah, that'd be a great player. I'm like, wait, he's mine. Same with Werenski. Neither of those players are actually available. Chris, it's actually interesting to see him on the block. A Bowen Byram? We have a trade offer here. No. Bowen Byram, 3 years left on his contract. He's 29. This is a player that I'd actually be down to give up a first-round pick for. That instantly makes my defense better. Instantly. Who's on my... Why are these people on my trade block? Peltier was traded to Montreal from Calgary for a first and a third round pick. Canes just give up a first to get Bowen Byram. I think that's a good trade. So Peltier is obviously sold. Byram obviously sold. Here's a trade alert. Juuso Valimaki and Victor Olofsson in exchange for another first round pick and 2 prospects. I'm going to exit the trade deadline. I don't think anything else terribly exciting is going to happen. Sorry, somebody in the Discord said something. I feel like I should at least respond. Alright. Dylan Larkin to Buffalo. 2 first-round picks and 2 prospects. Yeah, I think the team, what they were lacking, or at least kind of what I was lacking right now, is a solid defensive core. Let me just do that real quick. Is he really in the AHL? I hate when it does this, man. Yeah, I'm just gonna call him up to the NHL. There's no way. Literally no way. So let's go edit lines one more time. Let's do those best lines. Boom. So Byram, as much as I don't want that pair to lose anything, I mean, it just makes a lot of sense. I could even do this and have like a legit top pair. Because Ben's good. He was actually having a good season. I don't know. We'll try it out. We've lost 9 in a row. And getting Johansson out of the lineup was important, I think. He's a solid defenseman, but when I can add Bowen Byram, I'm gonna do it, you know? Okay, so we finally won a game. Um, and we've won 3 in a row now. Okay, I'm not expecting us to go on a 9 game winning streak now, but it'd be nice to gain some of that ground that we lost when we went on that really bad losing streak. We're still first in the division by 14 points. I just checked. So it's not like we're like struggling here. We're already in a playoff spot. We've already clinched actually. So I think we'll be good. But so we still don't know a ton about okay, I don't have a scout in the USA East. That's actually going to need to change. Still no gems in this draft, which is actually surprising. We'll take a look. Points, Svechnikov with 78 leads the team. That's not terribly surprising. So I've got USA Central, West, and West. I don't need 2 scouts in the USA West. USA East almost never has like great prospects, but like here, let's take a look. Like scout specific players, like what's their top looking at? 4th overall and 24th overall, and then 35th, which is actually around the time we're picking. So it'd be good to know about that player. Um, so I'm actually going to assign potential in comparison to these guys because this player right here, Keefe, Sutton, and Hughes are around the times we'd be picking. Oh no, we don't have a first round pick. Well, either way. So it's like USA East is important because they do have 2 first round picks, an early second, and then a couple other like top 100 players. So it's worth. Plus, I end up drafting a lot of USA players just because they usually end up being gems for whatever reason. Oh no, my player's out. Oh, but only till the 31st. Okay, it's okay. I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. I'm actually back already. Chicago's had a few injuries this year, but nothing too bad. It looks like we haven't clinched the division. Okay, now we did, and we clinched the conference as well. Like all happened at once. It's like we clinched the division and the conference, and then we're good. And we will win the President's Trophy this year, which is awful because I don't think I've won a cup when I've won the President's Trophy. 5 goals in the first period, including 2 from Natchez and then 1 from Dan, Aho, and Svechnikov. Second period, Aho gets his second. Nobody gets a hat trick, though, interestingly enough. But Natchez with 2 points, Svech with 3, Aho with 2. That is the final of the season. Connor Timmins out until the 19th with a mild concussion. That's a really tough loss heading into the playoffs because you miss um, your third pairing defenseman. Actually, that's not like terrible because Johansson will just come into the lineup, but like still does suck. But Svech leading the way with 86 points, 3 of those being in the last game of the season, so he was already going to be a point per game player, but that's still pretty good. Aho with 80, and then it drops off like pretty, not severely, but it definitely has a pretty big drop off. Ben Hefner was a great signing this offseason. 45 points is really good, and I think around what he was. That's is that a career year for him? Yeah, so that's a career year for him by a pretty sizable by 12 points. So like a pretty sizable jump for a defenseman. 18 goals and 27 assists on the back end, and yes, he was getting power play time, but not much actually. He only had 1 point on the power play. Averaged 19 minutes. He was averaging around the same amount of ice time he was averaging last season as well, and had a really solid season. Let's take a look at my other signings here in free agency. Joe Valeno, very disappointing. I think he was only playing on the fourth line. Let's take a look. Yeah, time on ice. Yeah, so it's his lowest time on ice, I believe, in his career, and it shows. So that probably didn't need to happen. Bowen Byram, in his last couple of games with the Carolina Hurricanes, 20 games and 12 points. So actually, in just about a third of those games, he came close to replicating his point totals, which is really good. And all that despite no power play time. He was getting 21 minutes a night with us, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted him to be our top pairing defenseman. So that's really good. I'm happy with that. I think that's a very good signing. Last but not least, I signed 3 defensemen. Johansson, that's who it was. He played in 62 games. So it was Hefner, Werenski was the other one. 41 points on the back end is really good as well. How did the goaltending do this year? Solid. Visay was definitely the bright spot. McKenzie did really well as well. Um, so this team's goaltending is in a good spot. Soro was the only rookie. He did score 2 goals, I believe, for his first NHL goals. Yes, after 3 seasons in Chicago, Soro gets to play in 7 games at the NHL level. And rookie goalies is obviously McKenzie here. Trevor, we'll check out your player really quick. I don't think anybody else. Oh wow, 102 points with Florida. So you and McKinnon are definitely like a dynamite duo there. But for how long? Because I don't remember how old or how old McKinnon is. But either way, it's Canes and Columbus, and the Florida Panthers did not make the playoffs. Look at that. No playoffs for the defending Cup champs. So that's a big deal. And Stamkos is off of the COVID list, by the way. So that's a pretty big piece of news. In the second period, Gunler and Svechnikov scoring. Gunler is good for about 50 points a year, and he's always good for at least like 6 or 7 goals in the playoffs if the Canes make it far. Teravainen with an empty net goal. I mean, it's a solid start. You get a 3-0 shutout in Game 1 of the playoffs. Not your fault. I mean, clearly, yeah, you did all you could. Columbus gets their first goal with Jordan Greenway scoring. Second period, Max Domi gets a goal. And so the teams are just trading shutouts here. Would have liked to have seen the Canes score at least 1 goal in that game. It was definitely a disappointing effort, but I'm also hoping that New Jersey comes back because Philly gave us hell this season. But Gunler again scoring a goal, Svechnikov with a power play goal as well. No scoring in the second, and then the third, Teravainen, my player, gets the game winner, and Sergachev's power play goal also helps. There's Puistola with the revenge goal against his former team. Okay. So the AHL season's over. And okay, so Chicago is a playoff team. I thought they would be because they have really good goaltending and a really solid team just in general. Excuse me. But here we go, up against the Blue Jackets in, this is game 3? No, 4. Canes with a 2-1 series lead. So Buchnevich scoring in the first period. Second period, the Canes get goals from Veleno and Werenski. So actually, Veleno coming in the clutch there. Werenski scoring as well. Third period, Natchez adds an insurance marker, and the Canes win 3-1. And just like that game, that's what the series is also at. And the Canes get Connor Timmins back from this game. Not a huge upgrade in the lineup, but still defensively the team should be a little solid. And yeah, Sergachev scoring and Werenski getting another goal. Second period, no score, and then the third period, that's it. So the Canes eliminate the Blue Jackets in 5 games. Not a very high-scoring series, but the Canes found a way to get it done, and I mean the top producers produced, as you see, Svechnikov 5 points, 5 games. Current round is over. It's going to be Canes versus Devils, so I got my wish. I was worried because Philly was the only team that consistently beat us in the regular season. Jack Hughes scores against the Hurricanes, but Svechnikov gets the goal right back. Second period, it's neck and neck with Holtz scoring this time and Svechnikov, so it's the Devils. It's all their first round picks, and it's just Svechnikov for the Canes. Third period, Holtz gets the goal to make it close at the end, but Dan and Aho scoring. It was just a battle of like the franchise corner piece, like the centerpieces in that game. Dan, Aho. Suzuki out with a sprained ankle until at least the end of the conference final. Not good. Chicago does advance. In that series, Goldobin with a huge series, 3 games, 6 points. We'll go to game 2 though. It's going to be Canes and Devils. First period, the Devils get a goal from Jack Hughes. Second period, no scoring. In the third, the Canes win Soro with his first career playoff goal. So this is a player that came into the lineup with Suzuki out and immediately makes an impact with another goal. And then Gunler gets the game winner. And like I said, Gunler's a very reliable playoff performer. I'd actually be curious. Let me check. And then Ben Hefner out until May 5th. So that's the end of this series. Oof, not great. I want to see real quick what Gunler's playoff stats are. 6 points, so he's second on the team in playoff. So we'll check the full career stats in the postseason. In the playoffs, 139 career playoff games, and 65 points. So he's about half a point per game. And I must just be mistaken. So he had one really solid playoff. And then I guess he had 1 or 2 where the Canes won. But other than that, he really hasn't been that noticeable in the playoffs other than this year. But something to keep in mind is he is currently shooting at 27%. You take a guy like Svechnikov, though, for his full career stats. We'll take a look at the playoffs. 166 playoff games, 160 points. These 2 playoffs, he wasn't a point per game. In this one, I mean, he's had a few where, I mean, like this one, the Canes lost in 4 games. He only had one point. And then these are real life stats, so obviously, you know. But even then, you know, solid. What about Aho, for instance? Like Aho, the Canes legend. Wow. Actually, Svech has played the same amount of playoff games as him, and Svech has 10 more points. Interesting. It's kind of funny how that works. So I thought Gunler was like a pretty solid playoff performer. He's really only good for about half a point per game in the playoffs, which is interesting. But so game 3 here, the Canes with a 2-0 series lead. New Jersey finally gets goals from somebody not named Holtz and Hughes. I mean, Holtz does score, but Caleb Jones also gets a goal. My player with his first of the playoffs. Second period, New Jersey, yeah. And then third period, there we go. Okay, so the Canes lost that game pretty badly. It's okay. Suzuki, you know, probably meant a lot to this team, and so the earliest we could get him back would be, was this game 5 or 4? So game 6, I think. So here we go. No scoring in the first period. Second period, the Canes get a goal from Noel Gunler, who's having a really good playoffs. In the third period, Connor Timmins, with his first of the playoffs, gets the Canes an insurance marker. That's a shutout for the Hurricanes to take a 3-1 series lead. It's a lower scoring series for sure. Ben Hefner's actually back. Wow. I believe he was supposed to be back around this time. Or was it Suzuki that was out until the 15th? Either way. First period, Natchez with a goal. Second period, my player scores, and then Jack Hughes scores. No scoring in the third, so we're going to overtime here. The Canes were missing. I didn't realize that we were missing Ben. So that was a top pairing. That was a top six defenseman, like maybe even top four defenseman, and we're definitely missing a top six forward. So the Canes are hurting and still finding a way to um, stay competitive in these games. But here we go on the call for game five. And the Canes are on the power play to start things off. So it's Zachary Bolduc versus Aho on the faceoff. The Canes have a power play for a good amount of time here. Oh, what a move. Busting in short-handed, and the Canes defense has to cover up there. Aho's going in 1-on-3. Slapshot breaks his stick, and that's unfortunate. Speaking of breaking, that's a heartbreaker right there. Canes now with 45 seconds to go on the power play, excuse me. Necas with it. He's skating in with virtually no help. Oh, shoots! Oh, two great saves from the goaltender there. Wow, what a stop on the first shot and then the rebound. And New Jersey gets the clear after that. Wow, what a play. Svechnikov with a bounce pass up to Necas off the boards. Necas at it. Gundler with a shot. And Stuart Skinner with the save. Canes with a couple seconds left on this power play. In goals, the Canes don't actually have any of the top goal scorers, and it's not surprising. It's been pretty balanced, I'd say, so far. But Ponomarev versus Butsayev on the faceoff. Ponomarev wins it back to Sergachev. McLaughlin's off the post! Oh, wow, what a shot! Dan to Teravainen with a shot, and Skinner makes another stop. 4 seconds to go, and then we'll be at even strength. Oh my gosh. This is just a phenomenal shot, and right off the inside of the goalpost and out. That was nearly a perfect shot from Dan. Svechnikov with it now to Teravainen. Even strength on the ice. Teravainen with it now. The Devils officially get their man back. Dan, shot on the backhand, almost leaking through Skinner, and he has to make a tough stop. The Carolina Hurricanes are pouring on the pressure here. Ponomarev wins another faceoff. Ben Hefner in the lineup. Shot! Oh, just a pad save. He might have gotten it with the skate on Ponomarev after a great feed from Ben Hefner. Shot. And Ben runs into his own goalie, and Fissé gets bailed out by Hefner at the end there. So there we go. Here come the Hurricanes. My player with the shot, and a kick save off of the shot was blocked. Vorobyev entering the zone. Right. Shane Wright, really? Interesting. So Fissé is going to cover up in his Anaheim Ducks mask. Fake. Fake as hell. And that was just a great save off of Ponomarev there. Wow. Canes have had chances. This is the first time we've seen a couple of these guys in the playoffs. McElroy, I don't know why he's on the first line when Suzuki's out. And the Canes, again, don't have any of the top scorers. It's been a very, low scoring affair for the most part in each series. And the Canes haven't played a ton of games yet. But anyways, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you win the games. And right now the Canes are beating the Devils 3-1 in the series. And Hughes, what a goal, wins it for the Devils. After the Canes have the majority of possession too. 45 shots on goal, you only get 2 goals. That was tough. Their goalie was really good in overtime. The Canes had a couple of really good chances. You might look back on that Dan shot and wish that he placed it just a little better. Like even like maybe a centimeter to the right, and that's a goal off the post and in. But you know what? That's okay. Going into game 6 here, my player scores 2 goals in the first period. Second period, Svechnikov keeps the Canes ahead, In the third period, Dan wins it with 9:56 left. The Carolina Hurricanes are moving on to the conference final and will face. Oh, it's the AHL play. They'll face Boston, but we're heading to Game 7 in the other series, which is actually helpful for us because it gives us an extra day for Suzuki to get healthy and hopefully get him back in time for game maybe either 4 or 5. Um, but so Chicago has advanced. We'll be facing San Diego in their conference final. They are down 1-0 currently. We are facing Boston. No scoring in the first period. Second period, Thatcher Demko is in net for the Bruins, and my player scores. Hermy scores for the Bruins. I don't know why I was about to call them the Sabres. My player with 2 goals. Is that a hat trick? That is a hat trick. So my player with a hat trick in game 1. Natchez scoring a goal as well. So a really good game from my player there, getting 3 goals, leading the way with just absolutely selfish there. 8 goals and two assists for 10 points, leading the team right now. It's kind of funny. But alright, so we've got Boston versus the Canes here. No scoring in the first period again. Boston with 2 goals. Matthews and Steele second or third period. Saros with another goal in these playoffs. But the Canes, they lose. Chicago with another injury here. They're down 2-1. Avery Henry with unselfish play, 1 goal and 16 assists in the playoffs. Central Scouting, hopefully we'll be able to see. Again, I'm not picking in the first round this year after the trade for Bowen Byram, but Suzuki's back. Oh, Suzuki's back. That's huge. That's a big deal. The Canes get a huge offensive weapon. Dan with 2 goals, Teravainen with a power play goal. Second period, Chychrun with a goal. And the third period, Cholowski and Hosang actually make it kind of close, but the Canes win and take a 2-1 series lead. Suzuki's out now. Dang. He did come back a little earlier than he was supposed to. I probably should have left him out for one more game, but that's unfortunate. So we've likely lost Suzuki for the season. He might come back at the end of the Stanley Cup final if the Canes do make it, but I don't know. Second period, Gunler, McElroy, Natchez, and Svechnikov scoring. Give me 1 second. I'm going to answer this FaceTime real quick. Sorry, Elise is babysitting her cousins, and so I figured I should answer the FaceTime. So second period, Matthews gets a goal, and the third period, no score. So the Canes lose that game. That's a shutout loss. So it's going to be Stars versus the winner of this series, um, and the Wolves move on. So the Chicago Wolves are in the Calder Cup final against the Cleveland Monsters. So we're actually going to simulate every one of their games now. Because they're in the Calder Cup final. So no scoring in the first period. Second period, Goldobin gets a goal for the Wolves. And the third period, Henry with his second goal of the playoffs scores on the power play to give the Wolves a 2-0 win over the Cleveland Monsters in Game 1. Hopefully that bodes well for Game 6 here against Boston at TD Garden. Hosang scores 2 goals in the first period. Werenski gets a goal for the Canes in the first. Second period, Tuck and Glass score for the Bruins. And the third period, my player Um, Scored. Yeah, it was 4-2 loss. Not pretty, and I'm really hoping that the Canes can win Game 6. Chicago gets a boost to their lineup with Fitzpatrick returning tonight in Game 2. And let's see. Engren scores for Chicago in the first period. Second period, Kuhl scores. Third period, Nieminen and Armstrong score. They have yet to allow a goal in this series. So through 6 periods of play, Vico's out with back spasms, likely for the season. But yeah, solid 4-0 win. First period, Dumba gets a goal for Boston. Second period, the Canes get 2 from McLaughlin. Third period, Canes win. Dan finishes the hat trick. My player scores. The Carolina Hurricanes are moving on to the Stanley Cup final. I got worried. I saw it was 2-1. I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And the Canes win. They walk away with the win. Um, Stanley Cup final, obviously you know what's going on. We're gonna sim, but I am going to do the Calder Cup final as well. So first period, Cleveland finally scores, and it's Canes legend Warren Foegele with the goal. He has 2, Fucale with 1, and then that's a bad game. Wow. Not a great look from the Wolves. I guess all of the goals came in that game for the Cleveland Monsters, but anyways, game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoff or the Stanley Cup final, Canes and Stars. Svetch with 2 goals in the first period, Heiskanen with 1. We got the second period, Ben Hefner, my player, and Noel Gunler with goals. And then we've got McElroy scoring a 6-1 mollywhopping of the Stars in game 1. There's all the Canes offense. We might actually get Suzuki back for a game in this series, if he's due to be back on the 1st. So, this is 4 of the Calder Cup final now. Chicago with a 2-1 series lead. And they win. Armstrong with the goal in the third period. Wolves win and take a 3-1 series lead. And we're going to game 2 of the final in the Stanley Cup. No scoring in the first period. Second period, Dan and Connor Timmins scoring. Graham Clark with the goal for the Dallas Stars. Third period, McElroy and Svechnikov. Svech gets a power play goal. Oh, and this is against Smushy, and I don't think he's won a Stanley Cup so far, so this will be interesting. So we'll sim to the next game, and we'll see what happens. So, game 5 of the Calder Cup Finals. We got a goal from Goldobin, who's been a very steady presence in this series. Lawrence, Nieminen, and Fucale score, and that's going to be it. So 3 shutout wins over Cleveland in this series. And your Chicago Wolves are your Calder Cup champs. Henry with 25 points led the way for the team in the playoffs. Only 2 of those points were goals. Other solid performers, Armstrong, Fucale, and Goldobin all had solid performances. I'm the most excited about Henry, though, because this is the player that, this is a first-round pick playing this well. So that's something to look forward to. I was hoping that he would have grown in an overall point, but he also led the way with 82 points in the regular season. So that's a really good performance. Game 3 at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. Canes with a 2-0 series lead, and Averov gets things started for Dallas, but Ponomara, Veleno, and Saros scoring. So Saros, he's been in the lineup for most of these playoffs in the 4th line role and has had 3 goals. And this is a guy with 7 NHL games. So pretty solid first period from the Canes. Second period, Nate just adds a power play goal. They almost come back to win it, but the Canes luckily escape with a win here. After a bit of a scary period there. But here we go. Suzuki is back for game number 4. First period, Graham Clark with a power play goal. Second period, tie game, Noel Gunler with the goal on the power play. Third period, we have to sim it minute by minute. It's the third period, the Canes with a 3-0 series lead. What's going to happen? Is nothing going to happen? Canes kill off a 5-on-4 penalty. Dallas was not able to get a whole lot of offense going. The Canes have had a ton of shots this game. And we're heading to overtime in game 4. It's a 1-1 game. I forgot to put CPU versus CPU. There we go. Canes with a 99 offense, 96 defense, 90 overall goaltending. 91s across the board, I believe. Maybe with a 92 in goaltending for Dallas. So here we go. Canes and Star. I don't know why I was about to say Devils. Canes and Stars. This is only the second overtime game of the playoffs for the Hurricanes. They lost the other one against the New Jersey Devils. And here we go. Svechnikov speeding in on the wing. McElroy with the shot. He gets tripped up. No call, though. Heiskanen to Travica? Travica? I don't know. But either way, here's Svechnikov with it. Had the move. Will Looper, that was offside. Cunnin with the shot. And McElroy, the Stars are a tough team to play against. Wow. Svechnikov, shot, missed the net. Hefner with it out, takes it to the slot. Werenski slap shot is stopped by Smushy. McElroy with it now. Has it along the boards, taking it in. Oh, stopped by Smushy. Thought he was gonna go for the possible. He was gonna go for like maybe the stuff play, but he instead tried to go 5-hole while the goalie was moving, and it didn't quite work. Canes are going with a fresh line here of Ponomarev, McLaughlin, and Soma. If my player wins the Stanley Cup for the Canes, I'm going to cry. Dan with the puck along the boards. Takes it maybe behind the goal line. Dan with a backhand chance. These weak backhanders aren't going to get past Smushy. And that's really all that Dallas is allowing. Travica with the shot, missed the net. If you say may have gotten a piece of that, but either way, Canes with a, they're lucky to get out of that. Dan thought about it, makes the move, and a poke check by Heiskanen. It was just a bad play by Dan. No communication with the forward there. And unfortunately, the Canes walk away with no possession. Heiskanen with the move, but unfortunately, nothing doing there. Soma carrying it up. Tries to make the move, was interfered with a little bit there. Might have been a call, but none provided. Dubé. Poke check by Ben Hefner. Nice play there by the Canes defenseman, and he's going to skate it in. He's in all alone on the breakaway shot. Scores! Ben Hefner! Your Carolina Hurricanes have won the Stanley Cup. Wow! Who would have thought? What a goal. I don't know if they're going to show the replay here or not. They might. But either way, your Carolina Hurricanes are the Stanley Cup champions. And yeah, just what a way to close out the season. You could tell that this team was special. I mean, very few losses. The goaltending was important. This is my player, I believe, his first Stanley Cup. This should be, this might be Ben Hefner's first Stanley Cup, although he might have won one with Colorado. Dan, this is his second Stanley Cup. I don't think I have any other creative players on the roster. But the MVP is Fissé. That doesn't surprise me. The Canes didn't have any real solid offensive performers in this playoffs. It was a team effort. Fissé was easily the best player for the team here. And that doesn't surprise me at all. So, really happy to see that. We're going into the Stanley Cup ceremony here. I want to see who holds the Stanley Cup. I don't know who the captain is. I believe it's Sebastian Aho. But, yes, so Sebastian Aho, this is his second time winning the Stanley Cup. His second time in this position. No. But this is his second time winning the Cup. I don't believe he was the captain of the team. And there we go. So Sebastian Aho wins the Stanley Cup for the Carolina Hurricanes. And he's going to pass it along to number 7, Jakob Chychrun, who I believe has won his first Stanley Cup. It's been a long road for him. I believe he's either 33 or 34. It's about time for him. Long time in the league. Zach Werenski, also, I believe, his first Stanley Cup. So getting to hoist the Stanley Cup at his age is a big deal. And he's going to take another lap with it and pass it along, hopefully. I do wish that the Stanley Cup ceremony was more interactive and that you actually had a chance to, like, pass it along to different players and whatnot. Like, I do wish that they changed it up every year because they don't. And then here's Fusay holding the Stanley Cup, the Conn Smythe winner. Easily the difference maker. I mean, this was a tough series for the Carolina Hurricanes. And then here's the group. I'm gonna click out of this. I'm not gonna bother watching the photo. But we'll take a look at Ben Hefner's goal. This is gonna be Ben's unassisted goal here. Just an individual effort. He's gonna make the poke check on Heiskanen. He's gonna take the puck and he's gonna go and skate and skate and skate and skate. And where's it gonna go? Is it gonna be? So he's gonna try. So the puck kind of does a weird thing here, and I don't appreciate this. It's like he's moving the puck one way and then it stops. So this is actually kind of a fluky goal when you think about it, because he doesn't touch the puck to make it go this way. He's gonna poke it 5-hole and win it. So a bit of a fluky goal for the NHL, even by the NHL game's standards. But the Canes win nonetheless. I'm happy with that. Smushy, I'm sorry. Your performance in goal should not be understated. You did have a very solid game. But the Canes, so not only do they get the Stanley Cup, they also have the Calder Cup in the organization with Chicago winning. So a very big deal. And it doesn't matter. Colorado gets our pick, but it's not going to be a very high pick. So I'm happy about that as well. Final draft rankings, again, it really doesn't matter, but I'm looking for gems in the later rounds to make the most out of the picks that I do have. So we're definitely going to pick this low elite center. He's 18, Cameron Wanvig, who actually has, like, really good... Wait, like, he's actually really good. Like, face-offs are an issue, and so that might be why he's kind of far down, but his shooting's really good. That's like an actual gem for a low elite. And then Edwin Whitney, a player who might be available. He's a player I might actually pass up on. But either way, like, a couple gems in this draft to keep an eye on. Retired players, I do want to see if any of our players retired. So Teuvo Teravainen calls it a career at age 36. So he wins a Stanley Cup and is a member of the 1,000-point club. I don't believe it's a Hall of Fame career. One thing I want to check is, can you see if the player won the Stanley Cup in his career stats? I remember them saying that would be... I guess it's only in Via Pro, which is stupid. I would like for that to be in... it shouldn't be that hard to track the awards for each player in this, but... So Teuvo Teravainen, 6 points in his last playoff series, 43 points in his last season with the Hurricanes. He goes out on a high note. I mean, that's the highest note you could end on. I believe he's the first player to retire as a Hurricane in this playthrough. So the Canes have... this is a Canes legend right here. If it were up to me, his number would go up in the banner, up in the rafters. Plus, no player really wears 86. So, Seth Jones is now a coach. Wasn't Jones a part of our team? I don't think so. But either way, the Canes get a really big... that's really big for the Hurricanes. have Teuvo Teravainen retire. It's sad to see him go. This is the Canes, I believe, second Stanley Cup this playthrough. Kevin won the Art Ross and a couple other trophies. If you say won the Conn Smythe and the Vezina and the William M. Jennings this year, just a great performance. Oh, there's another player. It's his dad. Or coach, I mean. Henry was the MVP in his rookie year, which is pretty crazy. He was the most outstanding rookie, which doesn't surprise me. He should also win the MVP of the Calder Cup, so that's a player I might have to keep an eye on heading into next year. We'll go to the draft now. So those were the awards. Again, I don't have much to go off of. 62 is the team's first pick in the draft. And we're going to take a look at some of the stuff here. There's a couple players that I have my eye on already. I see Timo Salmelainen, a defensive defenseman. I already have a lot of those in the system. This is a player that actually, like, he looks to be a grinder. Oh, he's 20. I think we're going to pick Maxime Payet here, who is a low top 6 forward. I do want to check him out because he is the first pick that the Canes have made in this draft. 63 overall is not terrible. Pretty much if he gets like 3 overall points, he's guaranteed to get a contract. That's not like too hard. So we'll move to 93 now, and this is the Canes' next pick in the draft. I don't see a ton. Wow. And they said it was going to be a good year for rookies too, huh? I beg to differ. Christian Fischer, already an NHL player, actually. This is going to be a year where I swing on potential early, huh? I'm going to go ahead and pick up Cameron Wanvig because I know a team's going to do it. Low Elite is really good. And this is a player that's 70 overall. Like this is an actual gem. His skating is not great. Neither is his physicality or defense. But I'm getting a player who at 18 years old is already one of the team's top prospects. I think that's a phenomenal pick. Feel free to roast me if you think otherwise. The team doesn't have a ton of defensemen, so I might end up picking Tyler Bouwmeek here. Might also end up picking Fragapane. But let me see. There's a guy projected to go 169th. Might not be awful. Couple possible low top 6 forwards. This guy should be available the next time I pick. So I'm actually going to go with Fragapane here. My scouts seem to like him. Low top 9 forwards, so actually not that great. Okay. The draft has pretty much gone as expected. This guy, a low elite, Autoreyes. I don't know. So let's take a look. He is a 53 overall player at age 18. Very young. He's a right winger. That's a sniper. Really the only redeemable quality that he has right now is his shooting. Everything else is very much a work in progress. So that pick might come back to bite us in the future, but I don't know. I don't see the point in making that trade, to be honest with you. Usually means that there's a gem available, but at the same time, usually not. I have yet to pick a defenseman, so I'm going to pick Hector Weidman here. He's 18. His stats don't look terrible. Low 7th D, yeah, so not great. And then we've got 2 7th round picks from this trade. So Koltonen is a guy that I'm going to draft just because he has the low top 4 possibility. Low top 6, so not great either. And then I guess I don't have a 7th round pick other than that. I don't remember what happened to my other 7th round pick. So I'm going to sign both of these coaches, my NHL goalie coach. Subban also improved to an A-, which is important to note. And then I'm going to sign a couple of these scouts here. So Carter Palin. I think after I finish just taking a look at the unsigned prospects that the team has, I'm going to go grab some dinner real quick. So I'll likely be back in like 30 to 45 minutes. But I will stream again tonight. I have plans to keep going because I am enjoying this, and now, you know, like, we won a Stanley Cup. I do want to continue. But I am going to go find something to eat. So I'm going to go to the contracts here really quick. Unsigned prospects. So obviously, oh, Wilson's doing really well. And this is one of the guys, this was my 2nd round pick that I traded up for in the draft. So I'm actually going to go ahead and sign him. I could sign Wanvig, but I'm going to wait. I want to make sure that he is exactly what he should be. Schroeder's doing really well as well. Martins probably won't earn a contract. Nobody else from that draft looks to be that great, unfortunately. So it's really just going to be Wilson and Schroeder getting a contract. Unfortunately, it looks like the rest of that draft was pretty bad. Oh, and then Fletcher was the goalie. But so we've got some options. Our best free agent this year out of the expiring ones is actually Noel Gunler. Couple other players, you know. I'll probably bring back Gunler and Ponomarev, but we'll save all of that for next time. Until then, I hope you all... well, I mean, I'll be right back, but I do hope you guys have a great couple minutes. Go ahead and grab yourself some dinner as well.